Hello und einen guten Tag. In this video I wanted to highlight Necro City, which is like somewhat of a small city building based defense RTS game. It gives me some They Are Billion vibes in sense of the base building. Let's jump right into it. I already played it before to get a basic grasp of the game, but I still want to start with the first mission because there's some fun story elements and they really put some effort into it and it's really entertaining. Let's just jump right in. I'm gonna explain on the fly.
Amidst the world's chaos, there is one place where law and order prospered. The kingdom of the undead. There, souls of the departed find respite from the turmoil of mortal life in a well-functioning bureaucratic system. But one man, determined to prove himself, is bound to run into trouble, even in a place like this.
Well, at this point they basically give you just a little demo of the tech tree involved. And there's a lot of different upgrades. Most of them just give you a bonus to some existing stuff. That's why I'm not exactly sure how extensive it is overall, but there's still a lot to discover, as you see. Yeah, but it's unlocked in not unlocked in the demo, so we don't need to spend too much time on it. We are pretty much Lich Prince Benjamin. And let's go.
Wait, I think I forgot something. Ah, we are already here. Alright then, let's see. Convince my brother to give me extra responsibilities. Check. Get sent on a super important mission to defend the crew's location from hordes of enemies. Check.
If I may, Your Royal Highness?
All that's left for me and my loyal followers now is to go to gloriously succeed.
Prince Benjamin, sir?
And then my brother will have to... Huh? What are those hideous creatures?
I believe those are the living, sir. I suggest we reinforce our defenses and prepare to repel their attacks.
Of course, the mission. How do we do that again?
And that basically starts off the tutorial. I'm just gonna quickly skip because some of the stuff is very basic and I'm looking to explain myself. So basically they tell you to start off with some housing to get workers, which is basically your main resource for everything. So you just need workers to survive. You need them for everything. Troops, resources, and so on, yada yada. I'm instantly gonna get some more. Then you also will need barracks to get troops. Also gonna do that now and get a basic number of troops. There's chests lying around that give you extra resources. You can collect them by standing next to them for a certain amount of time. Also nothing too mind-blowing overall. Necro generators give you energy, which you will need to produce more workers, sustain more troops, and so on. And obelisks are basically your energy generators to extend your vision and also possible building area. I'm just gonna place some around now because they're also good for scouting. And you can never have enough building space, can you? And we get other buildings like the factory and the physical smithy. Those are basically for production of weapons. You will need the factory to get basic, like transform basic resources into resources that can then be used by the physical smithy to then build swords or crossbows or archers. However we want to call them. So we're gonna try to set up that now. And I mean, at this point we started off pretty healthy with a lot of resources, but in the later stages you will see it's also getting a little more dicey. I need more housing right now to be able to get more units. I just want to get a little more and then we're gonna out for a little scouting excursion. Because there's other spots with chests and such. The enemy troops, or the evil mortals, are a little more powerful than our troops, so you always have to kind of try to outnumber them. I have to admit, the only thing I didn't like yet perfectly is the fighting itself, because sometimes it seems kind of janky, like we just saw. The troops are running around. They are a little unresponsive during combat, or like completely, to be more exact. They just basically auto-attack once they locked on an enemy and you cannot further control them. That's something also I do not like that much. But it's still an early version of the game as far as I got it, or it's not super close to release, to put it better. So I'm hoping that they will maybe change some of that up. We are now producing bonewood. We could also produce soul crystals. The bonewood is good for weapons. That's why we're producing it. And as soon as we got 50 bones again, we want to get the smith. It's not super necessary for this mission as it's still on the early side, or smaller side. But we still kind of want to have it. Just for showing off purposes. The red dot indicates the line the enemies will be coming for. In the upper mid you see the bar basically, and once that's filled up, the final wave will be coming, or at least for now it's the final wave. I don't know if there will be more waves in the later missions, but in this mission at least it will be the final wave. Let's just quickly get the smithy out to show how it works. Basically you can then select if you want to produce swords or crossbows, and once there's workers they will start producing. There's some buildings we cannot do yet, like magic towers and magical smithies. We don't have the souls resource yet. And for now I'm not exactly sure how to get it. But probably they will explain that or show that in one of the later stages. We want to get our sword fighters in the front. They are changing the lane. Tricky bastards. Control A selects all your troops, that's always kind of helpful. I kind of ran out of bones, and at that point it's kind of hard to recover. I feel like they are cheesing it. Well, it's good for us that those archers ran into the front, because they are way less tanky than the peasants or farmers. However we would like to put it. Sometimes they also don't seem to be dying at all. That's also rather strange. I don't know if there's like some kind of hero units or how we want to put it, but some of them. It might be down to the janky fighting. I think that's the last of them. We did it, sir.
Ah, huh? I mean, of course we won. Go us!
Should you inform his dreadfulness?
Huh? No. I mean, we probably shouldn't bother my brother so soon. He must be busy coming up with new taxes or something. Wouldn't want to interrupt that.
His dreadfulness, the Lich King Broderick, mighty ruler of the undead, was sorting out a way to implement a new tax. It might have been a difficult task for someone else, considering there were already so many taxes in place. However, there was truly no limit to the creativity of this king, neither to the number of taxes he was willing to impose on his subjects. One might consider heavy taxation as the ultimate evil, but, unlike his predecessors, King Broderick was not known for cackling maniacally, nor for throwing subjects into the taxpayer-funded snake pits. The young Prince Benjamin had yet to prove himself capable of governing. The prince only wished to be taken seriously, just once, instead of attending charity events dedicated to opaque ghosts or skeletal dogs who keep eating their own bones.
Alright, that was the first mission. Let's immediately jump into the second one.
Since our previous mission was a resounding success, good job everyone, especially you, Clark, great sword singing there. I think we should continue expanding further.
Are you sure, sir? This area is unprecedentedly full of the living. Maybe we should exercise caution?
Not today. Just one little victory surely won't be enough to persuade Derek to take me seriously. Come on, I mean, how dare those living come to our glorious kingdom? Surely we must stand together to push their evil hordes back the way they came. For all the little skeletal dogs back home.
And this is still also kind of a production tutorial. But yeah, I'm gonna skip it and basically do that ourselves. Basically starts off with telling you get an obelisk to expand a little. And then we can get our mine of bones. I'm gonna pause a little here. Then we also need to get our ruin quarry. We obviously need to get some housing to get the production going itself. We will also need a factory very soonish because we don't have any weapons in storage at the moment. And we will need weapons to defend ourselves rather quickly. Okay, we got our basic stuff. Let's just start for now. We also want to fill up our workers in the production buildings. These are obviously the most important things to get. Always should build them in the very early stages. Just to get a little more visual range, I'm gonna place some more obelisks, but not too many. Don't want to go too crazy on those. We can now start off our factory and put the physical smithy next to it, which also will need workers. That's why we want to go for housing next again. Probably just down here. I think the enemy wave will probably coming from the north again. That's why I want to concentrate expanding on the south a little. We also need a necro generator. Very important indeed. And after that, we're already pretty good to go to get ourselves some units going. But we also will need to keep expanding for like housing going. That was the worst English ever. We need to keep expanding and like keep housing going to be able to get more troops and such. This basically shows another aspect of the game, like getting thrown in with nothing and have to work from there. Which is nice, I like that. Gives you more flexibility, but also like kind of trains your speed building skills and thinking skills. Or decision making, better said. Okay, I think we're still missing workers, so that should be our main focus for now. Yeah, now we start to get an access, so we can gather troops. You have to change from time to time what you want to produce, because yeah, otherwise you will just produce swords, but we want to mix up our army a little. Obviously also get some archers, because those are kind of better attack-wise than the skeletal warriors. They are basically just tanks doing very little damage. So actually the main part of our forces should be archers, in my opinion. Ah, if you click it, it resets. That wasn't... I wanted to select the barracks, that was my bad. Don't be fuzzy, don't misclick. I just want to get some more troops, and then we can, in theory, start exploring a little if time is not running out on us. Sadly, we're not producing those bone planks or bone wood fast enough to keep our production going. I might consider going for another factory. But then again, that also will cost a lot of workers again. I always have to keep the balance in between these. But it would be nice to get more weapons more quick. Ah yeah, but then again we don't have enough bones. Ah yeah, as those are... Ah, okay, that was Little bad planning on my part. If we had another mine of bones, we could probably sustain that and benefit from it, but there's only one. We don't get enough bones, sadly. Then, yeah, I need to try keep up with the factory before basically the factory sucks out the bones. Let's see how many. Okay, we got 3 more. I'm quickly gonna stop the production over here once this batch is through. So we can get some more bones for units.
The enemy is here!
Yeah, exactly because of that. But I think we should hopefully have just enough. Hopefully. And you see that, like, basically once they started attacking, I cannot do much. They will just stand and shoot. I mean, that's also okay to a certain degree, like, at least they are doing something. There's also some games where that auto-attacking also doesn't really work that good. But also now they just ran way too close. They could have shot way earlier. That's why I'm saying the fighting is still a little janky. It's not bad, but it's a little janky.
Look, we won again. It appears so, sir. Haha! And here I was worried that the first time we just had a stroke of luck. I think I forgot the word had here. But no more. We must be good at this. Right? Or why else would my brother trust me with this task? I must have earned it.
In the past, the king and the prince often argued about responsibility and who exactly has or has not earned it, although mostly it turned into wondering who was the parent's favorite and, oh, come on, that's not fair, that was one time. So the prince once again asked for a real job to do. To his amazement, his brother the king agreed. Finally, the prince had the opportunity he had been waiting for. The chance to finally prove himself.
Alright, I hope you got a basic idea of what the game is supposed to be. I really like the concept. I think it still needs some tweaks there, and like, you know, the fighting, especially the resource part, I think is pretty good. Would be nice to have more resource nodes to like have the possibility to go a little stronger if you want to do so, or if you can do so, but then again, this is the first 2 missions. I might not be even sure what they are. Well, I'm definitely not sure what they have planned for the game yet. Yeah, this game is called Necro City. If you want to check it out yourself, it's on Steam. You can still play the demo for now. I hope they don't deactivate it. Sometimes they do that after the next test, but let's see. Thank you very much for coming by. If you enjoyed, maybe leave a comment, like, or even subscribe. I'd be very grateful. I hope to see you soon, and have a great week. Have a great week. Have a great week, for God's sake. Goodbye.